Okay, today we're talking about the Colorado shoe from Xero Shoes. Didn't really know what to expect as far as this one because it's very different than the company's other offerings. It's essentially like a sandal kind of sports shoe crossover. So it's got elastic laces, which I love. I put elastic laces on all my shoes. These are my Prios. And they've got the elastic laces just because I hate tying shoes. So that's really cool that this one already has them built in. The tread, I'm going to show you again. The tread is also a little bit different compared to the Prios. So I did take these out on the trail. As you can see, there's a bit of dirt. I did find they had quite good traction, so that's a good thing. What else? Very flexible, thin sole, as you would expect from this company. And then what I like also, again, that's why I like this as a crossover, is a lot of the issue with hiking in sandals is that when you walk downhill, the rocks get caught underneath your toes, and then you're stepping on these rocks. So because these have the open air pockets for breathability, but they have the cover in the front, so that's kind of the best of both worlds. I have worn them with socks and without socks. I definitely prefer without socks. So here, easy enough to slip on, and then you can tighten the elastic laces, which is good. So you can see good foot movement, good traction. I think these will be a great kind of summer hiking shoe for me. Right now, unfortunately, it's winter here in Las Vegas, so it's not a proper winter, of course, but it's not warm by any means either. But I think once summer hits, I'm going to be wearing these a lot out on the trail with no socks. The only negative really for me, and it's quite a small negative, I actually like these a lot. The toe box is just a little bit smaller than the Prio in comparison. So I'll just show you these two. So you can see they're a little bit more narrow. So if you do have wide feet, wide toes, you might find it somewhat constrained. Not a big deal for me, definitely not. Like, it's pretty minor because I still have, trying to get these on, I still have plenty of room to move the toes, but it's not quite as wide of a toe box as the Prio. But otherwise, yeah, these are great. These are, I don't know what kind of color configurations they have, but this olive green looks pretty good. Highlights of orange, good traction, good to take out in the street, out on the trail, and definitely once summer rolls around, these are going to be my #1 hiking shoe, I think. Okay, and then just going to put these on and just show how they perform a little bit, couple action shots. So they're super easy to slip on because of those elastic laces. So just loosen them. For me, it's definitely a plus when I don't have to put a lot of effort into putting on my shoes. So once they're on, they stay on. You can see, just gonna do a little bit of movement. You can see how they bend and flex, how you can step with them. So it definitely still promotes a natural gait, which is very important in terms of footwear. Obviously, Xero Shoes is a company that really supports and appreciates this idea of footwear. So you can see just how the shoes perform. A little bit of jumping, a little bit of rolling, so definitely good performance. That neoprene feels really nice, and I think if we go hiking somewhere where it's a bit wet, I think that's really going to perform well once it's the summer. And as I mentioned, that's kind of the only small negative for me, is that the toe box is just a little bit more narrow than the Prio. I guess not a big deal. It's not going to detract me from anything at all, but you can see what happens if I try to spread my toes. I can spread them a little bit past the room that's given for me. So that's just something to keep in mind, that the toe box is a little bit more narrow. But otherwise, yeah, these are great. They're definitely going to be my top hiking shoe once the summer sets in and I can really put them to use. So yeah, Xero Shoes, Colorado. You can see one more time what they look like. Check them out and give it a go.